welcome to Sheila Lives Out Loud. My name is Sheila Monyega. I'm super happy you're here. Please click subscribe and hit notifications, and don't miss uploads every Monday. And we're living out loud at the Diani Sea Lodge for season 9. Take a look. And I'm super happy to be here. Diani Sea Lodge, thank you for making this happen. Season 9 is all shades of something powerful, something wonderful as well. Now, we've lived through a global pandemic. We continue to walk together. It doesn't mean that circumstances have changed. We're still cognizant of the fact that life will never be the same for many. So how do we make those emotional and mental adjustments? We know it's not easy, but one of my good friends, Leila Wale, is here to walk us through getting it together and powering to the future. Is it possible, no matter the losses? Yes! Why not? There's possibilities of things becoming even better. How? Let's live out loud with Leila next. Come on. Leila Wale, a humble soul, an amazing human being with a heart and a passion for looking at life differently. I met you last year at a function for International Women's Day, and I listened to you speak about your life experiences, the good, the bad, the I don't even know what's happening, but I'm still going to power through. You said it all, and I know that the girls who listened to you speak left there differently. This year and last year have been something else. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
How are you looking at life?
Initially, I was a bit shaken up,
Yeah.
but it's been an interesting journey. It's been a journey of discovery, and so much has happened. But all in all, I thank God for life, for being alive here, and being actually able to speak with you today is just a bonus.
Thank you.
Just happy for life.
And that's the kind of person that you are. I called you on the phone and I said, guess what? I'm coming to Diani. I'm going to be at the Diani Sea Lodge. Can you come over and we can make this chat happen, because it's been a long time in the making and it's about time. Can you please make it? And I said, okay, what time? And that's you. You roll with the punches. So how did you roll with these punches? In fact, it was just one major global punch.
Yes.
How did you roll with that?
Indeed, it was. I mean, we were affected. It was a global effect. At the same time, if one gets affected, everybody gets affected. Personally, me, my business, my family, everything was just shaken up.
Right.
My daughter was getting ready to go to university. She could not go. Plans had to change. It was like overnight. What we call a facelift overnight. And so I must tell you, Sheila, it took me about 7 good days to just sit back and get hit in the sense, okay, this has happened, now what? But I've always been that kind of a person. I've been a soldier. They call me a warrior lady. I sat back and said, you know what, plan B, we need to strategize. This is what has happened. How do we move from here? Most important is, how do we tackle the pandemic?
Right.
Anything else that is happening around us, we're going to manage. But this disease itself that has now hit the country, we have to keep safe. So the first thing was safety for me and my family. Second was to make sure that we now do not allow any visitors that are not living under our roof anymore. It was hard. I had to talk to my friends. It was now communication via virtual. So things changed, that one-to-one where I can just hook you up anytime and have coffee with you and say, let's meet at Java, was not going to happen.
That was it still is one of those shaky
dinners
things to do.
and lunches and the outgoing people that we are. I felt, oh my God, I'm back in a hole,
And that's hard.
But what I did is I took light with me. I took light through God. I asked God to guide us. I asked God to save the world. I asked God to save the country, but I asked God to give me clarity. And I've always been that kind of a person. I might not look very spiritual connected, but I love having conversations with God. So I sat back and I said, you know what? You're the only one who can do this. That's it. You brought it, you sought it.
Yeah.
That's it.
You're
I'm
the
not
one who
here to
knows,
negotiate with you. I'm crying to you and I'm asking you, you got this for us, you will sort this for us. And I was very upset for a minute with God. I said, you need to fix it.
I like what you've just said there. I was very upset with God. We live in a society that perceives God through a certain kind of lens where you do not question, where you cannot be the human being that you are. But again, if you feel angry, then God also feels angry and He understands what being angry is. And I like that you're honest enough to say that you were angry. And for a lot of people, that anger still persists because lifestyles changed, livelihoods were taken away, opportunities ended, and there's anger. And honestly, I don't know if you can feel it this far, but in Nairobi, sometimes I'll wake up in the morning and I can feel a literal river of anger vibrating across the land.
Yeah.
How do we move from being angry? Because you were angry, but you're not angry. I'm sitting next to you and I'm not picking that up at all.
No.
How did you get to, okay, let's go?
It was so hard. Nobody should tell you it's been easy. It was hard. It was tough. And even the tough soldier that I was, I had to sit back on a stool and say, you know what, Leila, now what? But being a serial entrepreneur and having a loss in the business, because again, I was not, I'm not a self-employed. So, I was not employed. So I was doing my own stuff. So now I could imagine the pain of the ones who were employed. Now, us who still had a bit of savings, okay? And let me tell you, things shifted. Shifted from steak and chicken to lentils and maragwe. Simple as that, So how do we cut down? How do we start now getting all the luxurious stuff that we used to do out of the way, And now live on back to basics, bare minimum. That is what I did. I formulated a back to basics bare minimum. And literally, my family remembers me so well. From maziwa ya Brookside to now powder milk. And you're only allowed half a teaspoon in your cup of tea in the morning and half a teaspoon in your cup of tea in the evening. And that was it.
Yeah.
And that's how we lived. But in the midst of all that, so much happened. So much. Things transitioned. And I knew we had to adjust, adapt, and move on. There was no way out, When you decide to stay rock bottom, you will stay rock bottom. But when you decide to get all the way down, then there's only one way, is to get back up.
Right.
And I went rock bottom, and many of us did, but I knew I was not going to stay there. Hell no way.
And that's the difference for those who are still angry and those who are powering their way back up. You're not holding on to the anger. You've got a different kind of fuel that's pushing you forward. Leila, it's not easy because then again, for people who are seeing it from the angry side, you're asking yourself, but why are some people thriving? They seem to be doing better than I, yet the circumstances for them haven't changed. So how do you...
The mindset. It's the mindset shift. You have a choice, Sheila. You have a choice to stay here or you have a choice to move here.
Yeah.
If you stay here, you're not going anywhere. You're going to be stuck there. But if you move to this side, you're going to move slowly but surely. This is what people do not. Again, people are very comfortable. Remember, we were all comfortable in our skin.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we were forced to shed something that we've been wearing and used to for so long. And for others, it's really hard. I've had several counseling sessions with so many people that have been hit by the pandemic. And I'm talking about high-profile people.
Yeah.
And I'm also talking about my friends. And you know what? I literally had to set them down and say, you know what? Shake, move, let's go. Because you know what? You are the only one who can do it. I cannot. I can give you the formula and the toolbox, but you have to move.
Yeah.
And I think many have, but many are still stuck. There are many stuck. Many have just refused. Our life is finished. No achanijiwe. I have no other choice. I'm done. And the more you profess that to the universe will do you in. It's simple as that.
You get
Because
what you're
what-
looking for. Yeah.
What you give to the universe, they will give you back. So when you tell God, I'm done, he'll say, okay, go ahead.
Basi, njoo nyumbani. It's not my plan for you.
Exactly.
But you're speaking things into life. Really, truly speaking things into life. I sit back and I look at the disruption that has happened. And in many ways, it's almost like people forgot that in our ordinary engagements pre-COVID, stuff was still happening to us. People were still going bankrupt. People were still sadly passing on. Lives were changing. Relationships were ending. It almost feels like saying pandemic now is the symbol for the reason why I'm not where I should be. A pandemic. But sometimes the reason why you really aren't where you should be wasn't even the pandemic. Maybe you could have even been further ahead, but you stood in your own way.
Exactly.
So how do you know that it was you getting in your way other than the pandemic?
I think the pandemic for many of us was just an excuse because jobs were still getting lost. I mean, people were being taken away from their jobs. Livelihoods were being lost. You know, pandemic is a disease that just came to, wake us up. It's a wake-up call. For me, it's a wake-up call. For people up to today to start still being comfortable in that skin, and pandemic, no, we got to wake up and move on. I've had questions where people tell me, Leila, you look so good, you look so confident, you've lost so much weight. I've lost weight because my husband has been ailing for so long. He's got multiple complications. We've been in and out of hospitals. And I actually went down for about 2 weeks. I was under depression because I could not help him. I felt so helpless. And you know what I did? I went back to God. And I cried again and said, you know what, buddy, you need to come here and fix me now. I fix so many people, but I need your help today. And like they say, it's okay to not be okay. I gathered my strength back and said, you know what, if I go down now and he needs me, and I'm the only one he's got, what's going to happen? I picked myself up and said, you know what, you're strong. You're strong. You're going to get through this, because the complications, just seeing him go through that process and all those complications and all the major surgeries and being told at the theater that he might not make it out. For me, it was a hard blow. And during COVID period, which means we're exposing ourselves in and out of hospital, Now, how do I keep myself, him safe, So there was a lot going on. And yet I was still able to motivate, inspire, and transform lives in the midst of all that. And I was thinking, in my mess, you got to get my message. You have to get my message in my mess. So if my mess is not going to give you the message that you need to get out of your mess, then I don't know what to do. So I keep telling people, out of every mess in your life, you're going to get a message. And that's the message you want to move with.
All right. Looking at the future, and for people who have to course direct, being on unfamiliar grounds, unfamiliar territory, starting again, it's never easy. So where does your mind need to be, and what do you need to make that fresh start?
This is what I tell people. I tell people, if you're going to be, just for today, you're in Kenya, and then you brought an aeroplane and told you have to move to Japan tomorrow, you don't have a choice. Otherwise, we kill you. What would you do?
You brought the plane.
The first thing you do, you say, I don't know how to speak the language. I hate the food. I don't know where Japan is. I have to look at it now in the internet. But you will go.
Yeah.
And you will arrive. And you will learn how to eat that food. You will like it. You will become a cook in Japanese cooking. You will adapt, adjust, and move on. And that is what people need to do. People are sitting on skills and talent, Sheila, in the house. Literally. I've got so many that I've helped discover their new skills.
Yeah.
And bakers have been born in the homes, professional cooks, chefs, women who had chefs were saying, oh my God, we were so dependent on our chefs that we didn't know we can make excellent food as well. There's this friend of mine who never wanted to cook. She never. So her husband told her, COVID has come, we can't keep him. Guess what?
She's cooking now.
She is a pro. You see, when life puts you in a forced situation, you don't have a choice. When you're put in the deep end, you have no choice but to swim. But people are comfortable in just saying, you know what, maisha imekwisha. Maisha haijakwisha. It's just that you need to adjust. You know, ile steak ulikuwa unapenda kula, sasa ni waru.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's still food, it's still good for your body, and it's
Yeah.
okay.
and you know, the amount of savings, let me tell you, Sheila, the amount of savings, I was doing a total of the diners that I used to do and the hangouts. And the costing, you know, talking about 50, 60,000 just on food out, you know, and look at the savings. Look at what we have learned.
Right.
Should this thing go away, I'm hoping, you know, it's the new normal, I know, but imagine how educated we become in our financial, in saving, in knowing, okay, you know what, we don't need this.
Right.
Now we're been forced to differentiate between a need and a want. I just look at things and say, you know what,
I want it, but I don't need it.
it's not a need.
Yeah, you
It's
can
not
now
a need.
minimize the window and come back to it later.
Yeah, and now we're happy with powdered milk all the way. Now if you give me good milk, I'm like, you know what, I love this.
Yeah, it's
I'm-
great. If I can have it,
And that's
thank
the
you.
job.
But you're not breaking the bank for it either.
Exactly.
Which leads me to a big problem in today's place, which is keeping up appearances, which is you don't want people to know that maybe you're struggling, that maybe you're having trouble adjusting to your new normal in trying to keep up appearances. Why does that not work ultimately?
I think that's ingrained and built in because if I'm not okay, I'm not okay. If I'm down, I'm down. If my bank balance is zero, you'll know it. I'm not going to pretend, okay? And I'll tell you, listen, I'm in this situation. And hey, it's okay. But people have a certain lifestyle that they've kept upon themselves.
Yeah.
The status quo has demanded it of me to wear certain kinds of shoes, to dress. You know, there is no way I can be in a mitumba. And that is what they've kept on themselves. Mitumbas are beautiful, beautiful. Wash and wear and go. Be proud of it. But people want to live beyond their means.
Yeah.
And that is where they have sunk even deeper. They've sunk even deeper. If you've got a mortgage you're supposed to be paying every month, you're losing a job, and you still want to go out and have beers, and you still want to show off, and you still want to buy a suit, you know, so whose fault is it?
You can't really blame anybody because you're living a life that's not your own.
This is what I say. Everything that happens to you, you've done it on yourself. And people find that a hard pill to swallow.
Of course, because I'm thinking of different scenarios in my mind right now.
Everything that happens in your life, you hold the key to it. I'll give you a very short example. If I come and hurt you today, you will get hurt because you allowed me to hurt you. But if I go out of my way to hurt you, and you do not give me even any chance, yeah, who's still holding the key?
I'm still holding the key because I'm not letting you affect me and react to
Exactly.
you. Exactly.
So what did we do? We let COVID affect us. We let the pandemic hit us hard. And some of us have refused to accept that, you know what? We've got to get up and go, you know? I've got friends who are taxi drivers in the airport. They're selling vegetables from their taxis in different locations in town. What has that told you? There's no work here. I'm going to do this. If I was an office clerk, I'm going to be a janitor. It's fine. It's okay. At the end of the day, I got to put food on the table.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I have mouths to feed.
Keeping up appearances, not being bold enough to speak. Sometimes people are afraid of being judged. You don't want people talking about your business in the streets. But when push comes to shove, shouldn't it just be easier to be honest?
It's very simple. It's called your business. And your business is none of my business. And when you live like that, then you know, your challenges, your triumphs, your tribulations, they're on your own.
Yeah.
You are dealing with them on your own. Nobody's going to come and help you get out of a situation except you. So if you're going to be mindful of people judging you, then I don't know. Because you know what? You need to be real. This year, I promised myself that it's all about being raw and real. And the series are coming out. You're going to see them hopefully.
Yeah.
But I keep telling everybody it's time to be raw and real. That's it. Because what do you have to do now? You have to live.
Right.
You have to be safe. You have to make sure that you are alive. And despite it all, you have to meet your commitments. See, the banks are on your neck.
Yeah. The holiday's gone. It's time
Whatever
to pay.
loans, mortgages, you have to meet them. So if you're going to stay down there, you're going to be down there. And everything's going to be taken away from you.
Yeah.
So how are you going to get up there and make it work somehow or the other? And trust me, when you affirm that to yourself, Sheila, something happens. There's a shift that takes place within you. And God even allows you to move. I've had some serious, candid conversations with him. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
And I've put it on the table and I have challenged him. I've told him, you're going to get me out of this. I am giving you 2 weeks from today. You hear me? And you know, sometimes I sit back and I think, oh my God, you know.
Who is this you're talking
I know.
to? But again, you're speaking to your father.
But he has held me. And I'm a living testimony. I'm moving. I'm not pretending. I am moving. Things are going on for me.
Right.
I've discovered that, you know what, that one stream of income that I was having, I need 7 now.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to do samosas from the house and sell them, hey,
That's another stream.
I became a baker and I was selling excellent cakes and cookies. So you know what? You got to know, where do your strengths lie?
Yeah.
And you got to move and have small businesses here and there, because it's no longer one income now.
Yeah. One is not
That's
going to
it.
do. We are all hustlers. I mean, for
remember
want
my-
of a better term.
Sorry, I remember my grandmother used to tell me, huwezi kupika sufuria na mawe moja? You need 3 stones.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? So for me to have my sufuria balanced, for me to be able to cook a proper
Yeah.
meal, I need to have my 3 stones.
Yeah.
Those are my streams of income. Anything less than that now, you're in trouble.
I've never thought about it that way. Thank you for helping me see something different. You cannot have less than one job.
Yes.
I mean, or even just one job. You've got to branch out, because even as human beings, you've got so many facets and capabilities about what you can do. So push those limits.
Yeah.
As we close, because you and I can sit and speak until tomorrow, I'd like to look at the affirmations, because when you're down there, the one thing you need the most is affirmations. And there's been so much mind chatter happening for you to get to the bottom and to keep yourself at the bottom. Tell us about some of your favorite affirmations, some of the things that you can say to yourself, no matter what is happening around you, to steal you, to guide you, and to pull you through.
I'll tell you what I do when I look in the mirror in the morning. First of all, I brush my teeth, and after that, I look at myself and I say, Leila, you're beautiful. You're powerful. You're strong. You're amazing. You're unimaginable. Get out there, girl, and conquer from within. That's my slogan. Many affirmations that I say to myself, I keep telling myself that, you know what? I am enough. I am enough. I can do this. I got this. But God got me. And every time, I'll tell you something, Sheila, every time, everybody should exercise a high level of gratitude. The more grateful you are, even for what you don't have, believe me, you live a full life. You live a full life. You're not going to look at your neighbor and say, you know what, they have it, I don't have it. No. You just say, you know what, I'm grateful. I'm just grateful.
Yeah.
And you walk full. Don't walk stooping. I keep telling people, no matter how down you are, lift your head up and walk, proud to just be able to breathe. That is such a gift.
Yeah.
That is such a gift. Look at the amount of money people are paying just to get oxygen. We have it here in this beautiful nature, free, and we're alive and we're well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, times are hard, things are tough, but you know what? Give yourselves affirmations. Motivate yourself. Be your own motivator. Inspire yourself. Go out there and conquer, because it's possible.
It is possible. You've made mention of a series that you're working on. I know you use your social media to reach out to people, regardless of age, economic background, everything. You're just speaking truths on your social media. Will you allow us to share those on all my social media as well?
Please.
Because we're all connected.
Yes.
And there's a reason why we had to sit today and make sure that this conversation happens. So we're going to post those. It's called Real and Raw.
Raw and real, yes.
Raw and Real, the series.
Yes.
Where we're living our best
In a
lives.
talk, yes.
Tuko hapa nawe.
Thank you so much.
And I wish you all the very best. I'm
you.
grateful again. Stay safe, my darling.
You too.
But I
I'm
know
hoping
you
we're
will.
going to have another platform with you, but this time from my
Yes.
side.
Of course,
I
you
will
invite
be
me.
more
I
than
will
happy
be
to fly you
there.
down to Mombasa.
You
and
are
let's
such
do
a
our
gem.
series together as well. I
We
think you're a
certainly
beautiful
will.
soul.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
yes.
We're friends for life.
Conquer
In case
from
you didn't
within.
know, now you do.
It's a sealed pack.
Thank you. Thank you, Leila Wale. Please check out links below in the description of this video so that you can find her social media handles, or find me and follow me on social media and catch up with Leila there as well. Thank you to Diani Sea Lodge for hosting us and making sure that this conversation happens. Find them and follow them on social media and of course in the description below of this video. We're looking forward to catching up with you again next Monday. Until then, live out loud in all that you do. Bye for now.